Okay, I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order on July 25th, 2017. Roll call.
Councilmember Hoft. Gross. Here. Gill.
Present.
Dodds. Present. Goodrich.
Okay, council members Hoft and Goodrich are out of town, but the rest of the council's here, as is the mayor and city clerk and acting city administrator Alan Hobble and city attorney. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Gross. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Made our way to citizen comments. Is there anything on the agenda that someone in the audience would like to speak to? If so, please step to the podium and sign in and say your name, please.
My name is Don Bristow. I live on 816 20th Avenue. I know you're building a new place where Leonard Park was.
Yes.
I got concerned. Before Leonard Park moved out, we had sewer problems. They plugged up our sewer on 20th Avenue. Since they left, we have had no problem since.
Oh, okay.
So we got that new problem up on the street. I want you aware of it. Can we put like a septic tank here so the diapers will drop in the septic tank before they float down 20th Avenue? That's my concern, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so obviously we're talking the sanitary sewer.
Yes?
And you're saying that you used to have a problem, and then when Leonard Park closed,
Yes.
it went away, and now
Yes.
you're worried with the new
They
retirement.
cut off the line and part went one way and part went down 20th Avenue through Hy-Vee, and it's went across the street, but I'm still worried.
Okay, I guarantee we'll refer that to the engineering department.
Well, I know I talked to Dan about it, but it still got me worried.
Okay.
There's more stools flushing every day up there. So. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
okay.
you.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention, though, Don. Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Janet Godwin, and I'll finish this before I walk away from the podium. But
Sure, Janet.
I wanted to introduce myself tonight. I'm running for school board, and I hope you're seeing some yellow Godwin signs around the community, and I wanted you to have a face with the name. And I wanted to note that when I'm lucky enough to win a seat on the school board, that one of my primary goals will be to work with community groups like yourself as we work collectively to improve our community. It's really why I'm here tonight, is to start building that relationship. Just a little bit about me. I've been in Johnson County since 1987. I live in Iowa City. I've worked at ACT since 1990. I started there entry-level position and worked my way up and around the organization. I'm currently Chief Operating Officer. I have two fantastic kids who have worked their way through the school district and have been amazingly appreciative of the first-class teachers, staff, principals, and schools that have helped my kids grow and thrive. I've served on a number of local boards here in the community, some of which have had Johnson County oversight, the Community Foundation of Johnson County. I've seen firsthand some of the needs that we have in our community, and I've also served on the School District Foundation, so I've also seen the needs that we have in schools throughout the district. I'm very supportive of the GO bond. Other priorities of mine as a school board candidate are to ensure access and equity for all of our students in the district and throughout all of our schools. Through my experience at ACT, I know the importance of innovation and education and new ways of teaching in the classroom, so I would be intending to support our district in those kinds of innovative programs. And I'm also very keen as a school board member to work in the community to create a vision and to work collectively in our community with groups like yourself to create that vision, set goals for our community, and then work together to achieve those goals. I can only imagine that's been some of the motivation for you to be on City Council here in Coralville, is to help our communities thrive, and that would be very much my driving priority as a school board member. So with that, I would like to thank you for your time tonight and appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself. I'm not going to be terribly rude by leaving, but I do want to get to the school board meeting that is underway, and I'm very keen on the agenda that's tonight. So again, thank you very much.
Okay, well, thanks, Janet, for taking the time to come by and introduce yourself. And you're absolutely right. There's a strong relationship between the city and the school district, and we need to always work together as best we can. So appreciate that. Anybody else like to speak to us tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item 5, which is a public hearing on a development agreement with Hotel 1001 LLC, It's for the Staybridge Suites, I believe it is, that's being built on the northeast corner of 10th Street and 25th Avenue. This is a project that's nearing completion, and since before it started, the city had a development agreement with these folks to partially pay for some of the creek side improvements and the intersection improvements. And this development agreement, I believe, is just a modification. Is this, I'm getting this right, about spreading out the payments, or is this not that one?
This is a different one on top of that.
On top of- we
They
spread
had
out
one
the-
for the street improvements and
Okay.
everything that were all ours, and this one's for the creek and stuff behind there.
Okay, so
And the
it's-
plaza and everything in there, so. And then this is actually the Spring Hill Suites. This Staybridge will be the one attached to the arena.
Okay.
So
I-
I know.
I- I was dangerous
And to
mentioning
give you
that.
a credit though, that was the original location of the Staybridge Suites before the new developer
Thanks
came
for
in.
that
So you were probably thinking of that, I'm sure.
They're both Marriott properties too, so.
If you would have stayed at a Holiday Inn last night, you might have known that.
Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
And this project's done, right?
It's pretty much, yeah. So this the rebate won't even start till it'll be a year and a half after they open up before it starts getting paid out.
And part of this did include the improvements to that intersection, which I think we've all noticed how much better that is, the entry to the mall there. We straightened out that corner there, and I know for one, the buses appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
And the mall management sent us the note too, saying they appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's handled a lot of water.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll open the public hearing. Are there any comments from the audience? Any written?
No written.
Okay, seeing and hearing none, I will close the public hearing and consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the development agreement with Hotel 1001 LLC is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion?
Well, one thing I just want to say, I remember when we were first discussing the design of this, this isn't about the pavement here, but I was very critical of it, and I was wrong, because it looks really nice, and the drawings did not do it justice at all, so it's a really sharp-looking building.
Yes, it is very nice.
Yep.
I believe it has a number of green building features
Yeah.
as well built
Yep.
into it, so.
Pronounced Lululemon.
Okay, roll call?
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution passes 3 ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 6 is the Iowa River Landing Retail Lease Agreement. This is also a public hearing on leasing about approximately 1,854 square feet to a business that will be Lululemon's new storefront in the Iowa River Landing. I will open the public hearing. Any comments? Written.
No written.
Close the public hearing and consider resolution.
Resolution approving the disposition of property and approving a lease agreement with Lululemon USA, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion.
Well, I guess I just want to say on this one too, Mr. Mayor, that, I've been on the IRL committee for 7 or 8 years now, and the two things that citizens have talked about over and over they wanted were Lululemon and Trader Joe's, and both are happening. It took longer than we were hoping, but slowly but surely this thing's coming together.
Sure is. Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved all ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 7, Iowa River Landing Commercial Condominiums. Item A is a bid report.
Yeah, this is the bids to actually finish out the interior of Lululemon's building, and we received 3 bids, and the low bid was from Watts Construction Group for $179,950, and they've done 1 or 2 of these already, so we recommend that the approval that Watts Construction Group be awarded the contract.
I believe they were significantly lower. The other 2
Yes.
were above
Over 200,
200,000, I
yeah.
believe. Okay, item B is consider the resolution.
Resolution accepting bids and awarding the construction contract for tenant improvements in Unit 101A, Iowa River Landing Commercial Condominiums, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion. Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved all ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item C is a resolution on the same project, and this is just for the contract and bond documents.
Resolution approving the contract and bond documents for tenant improvements in Unit 101A, Iowa River Landing Commercial Condominiums, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion?
Yeah, and I failed to mention, they will have to be done by September 15th, and we'll turn the space over to Lululemon for them to finish it out.
Good. Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Okay, resolution's approved all ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 8 is Iowa River Landing Drury Parking Ramp Project, and City Engineer Dan Holderness is going to give us a bid report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bids are open for this project on Thursday, July 20th, and we received 3 bids for the project. The low bid submitted was from Knutson Construction of Iowa City in the amount of $5,234,500. And we also had an alternate bid that we requested, and that is a negative $70,000, and that is to use earth to slope the east side of the ramp as opposed to using sheet pile to create the east side of the ramp. And so that is slightly below the estimate, and so we've had a successful relationship with Knutson in the past, and so we'd recommend award of the bid to Knutson and also to accept alternate number 1 for this project.
Okay, thank you, Dan. And that's, as I recall, that's a savings over the first time we bid out this project.
Yeah, about $2 million savings over the first time.
Worth redoing.
Yes.
Item B is consider a resolution accepting the bids.
Resolution accepting bids and awarding a construction contract for the Iowa River Landing Drury Parking Ramp Project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item C is same project for the contract and bond documents.
Resolution approving the contract and bond documents for the Iowa River Landing Drury Parking Ramp Project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodd, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Approved, all ayes with Goodrich and Hoft absent. Item 9 is 811, 755, and 725 East 2nd Avenue demolitions. Some buildings that will be coming down in the Iowa River Landing.
These are for 3 buildings in the IRL that will be in the place where the fill goes and where the arena will go on the east side of East 2nd Avenue near 9th Street. We had 2 bidders, and we split it up between the 3 different buildings. So CAJ Enterprises, which is Chris Jones Trucking, got the bids for 811 and 755 East 2nd Avenue for a total of about $22,500, and 725 East 2nd Avenue, Peterson Contractors got that. That also includes the removal of the parking lot, so that's more up their alley. So they got that bid for $26,959.75. So between the 3 buildings, it's a little less than $50,000.
Can you tell us who the most recent tenants were, just in case
Yes,
the public wants to
the
read?
811 building is actually on Trebron's lot. It's the smaller building that's towards the road that housed the Sherry's bus was in there. She's got to find a new spot for that. It's going to come down here pretty soon. The sign shop, Ed Otten's sign shop,
sure.
was in that building. 755 was where Dave Casino Real Estate is. He's moved over on James Street over on the south side of Highway 6. And then there was a building behind that had storage, and actually we're not demolishing that. Somebody's going to take that building piece by piece, so we don't have to pay for that. So that one will be going. And then 725 was a mixed-use building that had there was a wine distributor, a carpentry shop. It had residential tenants up top. It was pretty much the hodgepodge. So
Okay.
so those there would be the first 3 that will go down, and then there's Trebron will be moving. They're in the midst of constructing their building out in Tiffin. So once they go, so they are actually exiting out by Diamond Dreams. And then we'll have a couple more, 2 or 3 more buildings to the south of that will have to be demolished here in the future. We have had asbestos testing. We're waiting for that to be back, so.
This work will commence fairly soon after we approve?
Yeah, so 755 and 725, the asbestos has been, either wasn't in there or it's been remediated. 811, we're waiting back for the asbestos tests, but we're going to get those out of there as soon as we can.
Great. Thank you.
Kevin, is that $50,000 from funds that have already been procured for the arena, or is that general fund money that's being used for that?
That is urban renewal demolition money, so that would be, it's a project cost that'll be part of the whole you know, we're gonna have to,
Project.
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, we're gonna have to, that's part of getting the pad ready for
Right.
the
Okay.
arena project when December, they're shooting for December
December 1st.
to have the pad turned over to the Mortensen for starting construction.
Okay. Item B is consider the resolution.
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding a contract for demolition agreement for buildings located at 811, 755, and 725 East Second Avenue, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion. Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. All ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 10 is Coral Crossing, second edition. This is a resolution accepting some improvements that were substantially completed along that street.
Resolution accepting certain municipal improvements constructed in Coral Crossing, second edition, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. All ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 11, Stormwater Pump Station 7 and 8 Modification Project. This is a resolution that approves a proposal from Mid-American Energy Company for some additional work at our stormwater pump stations at those locations.
Resolution approving an agreement with Mid-American Energy Company for additional work at 402 Second Street for the stormwater pump stations 7 and 8 modifications project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodd, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Comments? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. All ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 12 is the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program. This is a resolution considering supporting an application by Grand Rail Development for funding via the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program and pledging city monies for the same. Consistent with what we've done with many other projects around the city. This one is at Coral Crossing west of Coral Ridge Avenue and south of Oakdale Boulevard.
Resolution of support of the application of the Grand Rail Development for funding via the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program and pledging city monies for the same, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. All ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Thank you, Mike. Item 13 is Economic Development Project. This is a resolution in support of and authorizing the filing and application with the Iowa Department of Transportation for RISE funds. This would be for the construction and improvements of East 2nd Avenue, where it connects with East 9th Street, again in the Iowa River Landing area near adjacent the arena project.
Resolution in support of and authorizing the filing of an application with the Iowa Department of Transportation for RISE program funds, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution approved. All ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 14 is Urban Renewal Plan Amendments. This is a resolution setting a date for consultation and setting a date for a public hearing on some amendments to the Mall and Highway 6 Urban Renewal Plan and also the 12th Avenue Urban Renewal Plan. The public hearing will be on August 8th and the consultation will be on August 3rd at 2 p.m. Resolution?
Resolution setting a date for consultation and a date for a public hearing on the proposed amendments to the Mall and Highway 6 Urban Renewal Plan, the Coralville Urban Renewal Plan, and the 12th Avenue Renewal Plan, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodd, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Gross. Discussion?
Yeah, this is just our annual amendments to add projects in, and then we'll back this up after the hearing and start our ordinances on each one of those urban renewal areas.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. All ayes with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 15 is a master services agreement. This is an agreement that I'm going to let Dan explain regarding GIS.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is agreement, we're recommending approval to you with GIS Workshop, which is for the development and implementation of their Simple City Geographic Information System. What this what this phase would involve would be to bring convert our existing GIS utility maps into Simple City and then bring all the related layers of information up to date. The initial layer focus would be on sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water main, city-owned electric services, and city-owned communication lines. Other layers to follow would be the cemetery, road signs, and street lights. And what this will allow us to do is we'll have all our employees will have easy access to all the information either at their desk or on their smartphones or in tablets in the field. It will allow people to make edits, make updates, corrections on the mapping system if they find something that's incorrect in the field. And it will also has a work order system so that we can easily and more efficiently pass needs onto other city departments to do improvements on our facilities. And last but not least, it will have a public-facing element too, which will allow the public to access to a certain level our infrastructure within the city.
Great.
Good.
Thank you, Dan. Resolution?
Resolution approving a master services agreement with GIS Workshop LLC for the development and implementation of their Simple City Geographic Information System product. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Okay, resolution is approved, all ayes, with Hoft and Goodrich absent. Item 16 is the Coralville Creekside Cross. And Sherry Proud, our Director of Parks and Rec, is going to discuss this, and I believe she has a guest to introduce as well.
I do. The first resolution is to name the, do you want me to talk about both A and B at the same
Whichever you
time?
prefer.
Or should we? We can talk about it all, and then we can do other resolutions.
Okay.
First I want to turn it over to Nick Sobosinski. And he grew up here in Coralville and has been involved with the Iowa City Cyclocross Club and involved in the development of this. So I'd like to have him just say a few words about why they're involved and what they're excited about.
Hi, Nick.
Guys, for most of you probably remember my father from many years back. As Sherry said, my name is Nick Sobosinski. I've been involved in the cycling community in Iowa City, and we've just been super fortunate recently to have created this great partnership with the Coralville Parks and Rec Department, which is awesome. Sherry and Alex have really picked up this ball, both with this cyclocross park that we're talking about, but I'll take the time also to thank you guys for all the mountain bike trails and the single track that we've put in along the Coralville Strip on the south side. That's terrific, and the cycling community really appreciates it. And it's setting Coralville apart, as someone putting the first foot forward in a lot of these efforts. But the Creekside Park cross is what we're talking about tonight, and this has just happened so fast, and it's been terrific with the support from the city parks and rec staff, from identifying this area as an area of potential, and then working with this club, the Iowa City Cyclocross Club, which kind of stands alone amongst a number of other clubs within the area that sort of intermingle, whether it's the racing clubs or the mountain bike club, which does a lot of work on the woodpecker trails, the single track down there along the strip. But it's just been a terrific experience working with these guys out at Creekside Cross. We never imagined it would go as smoothly and as well as it has. The excitement level from the city staff has been great. And then partnering with our volunteers, facilitating volunteer help, and really just getting all on board. And it's really something that's really unique. I can't emphasize that enough. We see Jingle Cross as this huge event, but that's something that's a one and done. You can't go out there and ride that course any other time other than that weekend. And what we've worked to establish out at the Creekside Park area is going to be a permanent venue, something that's always there. I don't want to say it's the first in Iowa, because I think there's been something established in Des Moines, but it blows what they've got out of the water in terms of the terrain and what's possible for this venue. They've got a little floodplain park that's being used in Des Moines as kind of a permanent setting for riders to practice on and go out and just have fun, which can really can happen out at Creekside. So it's been terrific working with the city. Great to see that level of buy-in. just all these volunteers want to get out and do this stuff, so it's terrific to have that and that it can coexist with the facility that's out there already, and I think the city can offer some great stuff for the riders and for future events out there, which is really exciting. We're on board. The cycling club, Goosetown New Pie Racing, which I'm president of, we're putting on a 2-day race out there. The first weekend in November, I believe it's the 4th and the 5th that we have down. It's part of a statewide cyclocross series, so there'll be people traveling in for that event. In our first year, we're kind of playing it coy with the number of people we expect coming in, but over the 2 days, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 150 to 200 riders, if not more, coming in for these races, and with the anticipation and hope of growing that going forward. But Sherry and Alex and Josh have all just been terrific out there, and I think we've established a really great working partnership with what the city's able to contribute and what our local clubs are able to contribute through time and then through money as well. And we've done independent fundraising, and it's just been a really awesome experience working with the city doing it, and hope to kind of continue this, and hopefully it can grow from there as we see the benefits of some of these, converting some parks or using parks in slightly different non-traditional ways of what we're used to for a long period of time.
Great.
Great.
So we've done a lot of work out there. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to go out there. I haven't been out there recently, but I know the guys, they got some sand work done to kind of create some more obstacles, and it really utilizes a lot of space that the softball players aren't even thinking about. That these things can coexist on a lot of the same nights, which is nice, avoiding the heavy use nights. But with the concessions out there are regular group rides that happen in Iowa City, so the opportunity to have this sort of open, I think, for a few nights of the week this year, and kind of see how it goes is the plan. And we've got experience with our other trail groups kind of recommending advice on when to open and close and how to best maintain it, and Josh out there has just been terrific with his knowledge of the grounds and what it's going to take to make this a viable long-term thing, which is really the goal. So even if we had to do an event in inclement conditions, that it's set up properly, so a month down the road you have no idea that bikes have ridden over the terrain and stuff like that. So
Wow.
That's great.
I'm happy
That's
to answer
great.
any questions to the best of my ability
No.
about it, but you can kind of
Just
see the map
Thank
that's
you.
laid
Thank you
out.
for your expertise. That's we've got a lot of experts around here, and it's really nice to see that we've got some help.
So there's
Homegrown, too.
Yeah, I've homegrown this guy for quite a while.
So yeah, I think it's really exciting, and there's a lot of excitement in the community about this. I know it's something that's been tried to do for several years elsewhere, and then this area came up in talking with Sherry and some other conversations we were having with some groups at the CVB, and it really took off, and it was just the ideal spot. So I think there's going to be a lot of excitement and people being able to go out there and use it regularly. We've got some clinics planned early on that we're working with, and I know Sherry will talk about the user agreement, but whether those clinics are run through the city or independently through our clubs, but some events to draw people out, really low key. So Dr. Tom could get out there on his bike and, learn to ride through the woods and jump over barriers and stuff like that. But low key with some local riders that are really skilled in the field. And we're planning on doing these free clinics, and I think we've got 3 on the books for doing the fall, which will be exciting to get people out there. But then those other opportunities during the week that I think people will be out there.
Fantastic.
Very
That's
good.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. you bet.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay.
Thank you. This is that time when if we could bring pom-poms to council meetings. This is like one of those, yay, this is really, really, really cool. The way this has come together, I think we first met out there in March. Like Nick said, through a series of CVB stuff, it came up that they were looking for a place for a permanent cyclocross course. And I went back and was messing around on the computer and looking at places, and I'm like, I've got a really great spot. Let's go walk it. So where we're located is on 240th Street. This is the Coralville Creekside Ballpark. And out here, Iowa City Cycling Club has developed some mapping for us. These are a series of terraces. So you've got elevation. You've got some possibilities for some sand. It becomes very sandy through here. We've got some possibilities for mud run during the race if we want to wet that down, or if it's muddy during that time, right up against the fence line. Then we go, and this has been cleared, just a path through the woods, a small bridge made over what we call Becky's Creek, down through here, and then ducks in through the barnyard. If it's a race day, we can take this up through the barnyard for some really picturesque pictures as we do that. But most of the time, we'll keep on the day-to-day riding, we'll keep it low. This also shows some different ditch slaloms and just lots of ways to configure this course on a weekly basis, as well as flipping it from a Saturday to a Sunday. They can take different routes through here, flip it and go backwards and go the opposite way on Sunday. So very exciting stuff. This has been presented and walked a couple of times by Parks and Recreation Commission, and we're going to take 2 actions tonight on the agenda. I'll just kind of go through. This actually is they can get about a course that's about 2.1 miles long out of the different configurations that they have. It'll be open for not only cyclocross biking, but cross-country running and cross-country skiing. And so a typical cyclocross course year, we're going to open July 1 and go through until spring thaw. So if it's not heavily snowy winter, people will ride this throughout the winter. And also, I think, hike and run it. So that's kind of really neat. And then we don't want people out in the soft spring weather. That we want to keep people off of it. And then we'll do some work days with the Iowa City Cycling Club, do some repairs, do some seating. And then that spring, May and June will be about repairing the damage that was done the year before. And we'll reopen July 1 and go again. So we're babying some turf along that we seeded in May this year. And so we're going to ride twice a week starting August 10th. Tuesdays and Thursdays we'll open the course actually from dawn till dusk, but there will be hot laps led by Iowa City Cycling Club in the evening out there. So people to kind of supervise, encourage some different riding and to set the course. We'll do some clinics. We've got those listed in the leisure line that comes out in August. And then next season, we're hoping to get a full season with just having it open all the time. The agreement that you're going to take action on tonight is for a joint management agreement for joint inspections and joint work days. We're going to hold on to the mowing. We already do mow a lot of this for fire breaks, and we have the big equipment to do that. And we've been mowing that this summer, and then Iowa City Cycling Club will help us promote the course, help us promote the sport and get people really excited about that, provide clinics, and just share that information out in the community. So unless you have any questions, we're, I think, going to name it and do the agreement.
Did you mention the date of the?
Yes, so the grand opening is going to be August 10th. And we start walking you can walk the course from 5:45 to 6:15, and then we'll have brief remarks at 6:15 right here. We're going to gather right here by the maintenance building out there, and then at 6:30 we're going to have cyclocross demonstration. So we can definitely get anybody who wants to hop on a bike that night and do that demonstration involved. And we've got a couple staff members, I think, from Parks and Rec that are into this sport too and are going to try it out. And I'll send out, on Thursday, we're going to send out an invite.
Okay. You have that on the website too, right?
We'll get it up on the website.
Okay.
Yep, we finished invites today, and we'll get all that added.
Great.
Good. Very good. Thank you, Sherry.
Very good.
Nick? Item A then, resolution?
Resolution naming the cross course west of the Coralville Creekside Ballpark, the Coralville Creekside Cross. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodge. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes, with Hoft and Goodrich absent. I'll just mention that. Too bad Lori couldn't be here tonight because she's the member of the Parks and Rec that I assume probably, when you mentioned some of the members of the Parks and Rec, she attends a lot of those meetings, I know, on behalf of the council. So, item B.
Resolution approving an agreement with Iowa City Cyclocross Club and the City of Coralville on construction and joint management of the Coralville Creekside Cross, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Gross. Discussion? Roll call.
Gil.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution approved, all ayes, with Hope and Goodrich absent. Thank you. Item 17, Design Review
Thanks,
Committee.
Nick.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. If I could have you guys just look on your iPads at the photos on this. If you, can you see? Oh, all right. Mitch can be down there.
Yeah, I saw
So
it,
this
yeah.
is with, as you can see, they wanted to have a vinyl of their logo, which is called a splat. I asked them what it was.
Okay.
It's a fat cell splat.
Oh,
It gives it a whole new thing when you look at it like that. But what they wanted, this is a little different because this business is where Tiny Feet used to be on the end there. So they also have the whole length of the side that is next towards the library. So they were wanting to put something on that side, which of course would have, I'm sure, looked nice, but keeping within the boundaries of what our regulations are and our, you know, what we've set up, didn't really work with that.
And what regulation is that specifically?
Just with the town or the city square stuff,
How many
they
square
don't
feet
have
on the-
anything,
On the walls.
Just the
anything
square
on the
footage
walls,
limit.
it's just on the doors.
Okay.
Okay? So this building's a little different in that it doesn't, you don't go in the front door like you do through Hertz Donuts. It's going to enter through the back by the parking lot from the Performing Arts. So what we did as kind of a little like win-win situation is this door that faces out on the side by the Hertz Donuts and things.
Fifth Street.
Yep, we'll shrink that logo down and just put it on those doors. So that was what we met, Councilmember Hoft and I and Jim, of course, met with the owners, and they seemed very happy with that plan, and so that's what we decided we would go with, and would like your approval on that recommendation.
Now, is that clear, are the windows clear then on the rest
Yes,
of them?
yep. All of this in front, it's just on the door, so that will remain clear, and it will be clear all on the side of the building as well. By the way that it sounds, you know, it's workout equipment and things, so I don't think you're going to see into people working out, because I think there's going to be like walls there because they had to have hanging equipment suspended and stuff like that, so I don't think it's going to be a free look
I've
in
noticed
there
that the side wall facing the library, I don't think
yeah.
it's blocked.
So I think there's still, you know, a privacy matter, but still keeps within what our normal, you know, we want to stay consistent with what we've done with all of our other
Yep.
people that work in that area, so.
Good. I wish him well.
Is that okay with the building department?
Yeah, we all, yeah,
Yep.
Jim approved it,
That's, oh,
so.
okay, it all fits.
I'm not sure you said the name of the business, but if you didn't, it's Orange Theory.
Orange Theory,
Yep,
and it is a gym.
yep.
We've got Jim. Very nice couple that owns it, and I'm excited to be here. It's a big franchise business, but not too many around our area, so,
I've heard people very excited about
Yeah.
it coming to Coralville.
yeah.
The same people that were excited about Lululemon, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm sure Lululemon's very excited that this is opening up so people can go buy
Yep.
their clothes to go work out.
Okay, I consider a resolution.
Resolution
Yes.
approving and accepting the design plans for proposed signage for Orange Theory Gym located at 1303 Fifth Street, Suite 100, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gil.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes, with Hoft and Goodrich absent. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Move to approve the consent calendar, items A through double D inclusive.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call. Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved, all ayes, with Hoft and Goodrich absent. 19 is a city administrator's report.
I'd just like to ask Sherry Proud to make a couple quick comments about the Fifth Street Social coming up in a few weeks.
Yes, we want to have everyone mark their calendars for Saturday, August 19th, 4 to 10. We're making the Coralville street dance that happened last year even bigger and better. And this year, we've branded that and called it the Fifth Street Social on historic Route 6, going back to the days in the 50s, 60s, and 70s when they regularly had street dances and parties right on Fifth Street. And we have live music. We have Plastic Relations and Dave Zolo and the Body Electric, both local, very popular bands, starting at 4 and 6. And then we have an up-and-coming country artist. Her name is Taji Bachman, and she spends her time between Nashville and lives in Illinois. So really excited about having her debut here in Coralville. It's a craft beer celebration, so we have all 4 of the craft brewers here in Johnson County that'll be there with their brews. And we'll have food trucks and food carts and a kids zone, activities just up and down 808 to 708, those 2 blocks of 5th Street. So you can find out more at coralville.org at the events page. We do need volunteers. So if you're interested in coming out and volunteering, we need people to ID, to sell tickets, to pour beer, to help set up, to clean up, to just make sure everyone's having a wonderful time. And of course, we always get you a great shirt and a cup. So if you'd like to go and use that, you can. And one of the exciting things is we do about $14,000 to $16,000 worth of youth scholarships through our summer camps, our before and after school programs, as well as recreational scholarships for kids who want to learn how to swim or play baseball or basketball and things like that. And the proceeds from this event are going to help support that scholarship fund. So we're excited about having that happen. The sponsors for this event are the City of Coralville, 808 on 5th, Hills Bank, and the University of Iowa Community Credit Union. So very excited, and we hope everyone will mark their calendars.
What was the times again?
4 to 10
Okay.
is the entire event time, and 4, 6, and 8 are different bands.
Sherry, is the beer still constricted to the little area that it was?
The
Did they
whole
make-
thing's fenced in this year as a beverage
Good,
garden.
okay. So the people will be able to go listen to the music, and 'cause I know last year that was one of the complaints I heard a lot about, that people were kind of
Yeah.
confined up in that little space, and then it looked like nobody was listening to the music because they couldn't take their beer
Yep.
over to the stage area. Okay,
Yep.
excellent.
Thank you, Sherry.
That's all.
That's all
Thank
now?
you.
Okay. Mayor's report. I have several things that I want to announce. I'll just, I guess, take them in sequential order. The first is this Thursday is the annual Battle of the Badge, which is a blood drive, blood donation drive, the City of Coralville. It's a friendly competition between the police departments and the fire departments to see who can get the most donors to donate on their behalf. So if you donate, you are asked to put your chip in either the police department or the fire department bucket. And that will be going on from 2 to 7 p.m. in the Coralville Public Library. So it's a different location this time. So 2 to 7 in the public library this Thursday, Battle of the Badges blood drive. Hope to see you there. Next, excuse me, next is, just want to announce that we have a ribbon cutting and a grand opening of a new business in Coralville this Saturday at 9 a.m. for PetSmart. That's at the Coral Ridge Mall and in one of the buildings located where the old former Sears building used to be. There'll be I'll be there presenting them a plaque, and sounds like it's a good addition. They do not sell live animals at this location. They adopt out, and they work with fosters to foster out, adopt, rescue cats and dogs. So that's good.
It's great.
So that's 9 a.m. this Saturday. The next item is the annual National Night Out, and that is Tuesday night, August 1st. Something we've done in Coralville for many years now, and many other communities across the nation does the same thing. That's where you basically an opportunity to get outside with your neighbors and do a little picnicking and just hang out with your neighbors and get to know them and enjoy the evening. And the fire department and police department and city council goes around and visits with you and Police chief will probably make his balloon animals if his shoulder's okay by then, and it's always a nice night. And if you're interested and haven't already signed up for a location for one of these parties in your neighborhood, just call the police department and they'll record your address so we know where to go that evening. So that's the 1st of August, Tuesday night. Next, and last but certainly not least, on Saturday, August 12th at 2 p.m. is the dedication ceremony for the new Liberty High School up on the border between North Liberty and Coralville. Again, that's Saturday the 12th at 2 p.m. Unfortunately, I'll be out of town that day, but Mayor Pro Tem Gross will be there. But I would encourage the rest of the council and staff if you can come too as well on the 12th at 2 p.m. for Liberty High School. That's it. We hope our city administrator is doing well on Ragbri. He's posting pictures on Facebook, so I think he's okay. They're up in Clear Lake tonight. Sounds like they may get wet tomorrow night. Charles City is a stopover. Committee and council members report. Councilmember Dodds.
Just hope all of my friends who are on Ragbri have safe travels and look out for the storms tomorrow night.
You bet. Councilmember?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Gross.
Well, you took my Liberty Thunder, so I'll
Okay.
give you that. But the other thing I did have, there was a Coralville Affordable Housing Coalition meeting on Wednesday night, and there's a new executive director of the Johnson County Affordable Housing Coalition. It was, Sally Scott, and it's now Sarah Barron. And it's kind of a fun opportunity to kind of start from scratch and see where things are. So the coalition is kind of in the process of putting together a comprehensive plan and going from that and realizing all the individualities of the different communities involved. But so I went to that and it was a good time. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I went a little out of order, sorry. I want to back up one and hear a report from our city attorneys.
I feel offended slightly.
I'm sure they care.
I just wanted to share with you that my star witness this morning in traffic court was Chief Shane. And one of my first questions was he on duty April 24th, 1917? And he said, no, that was a little before his time. But 2017 he could account for, and so we went from there. That's all I have.
I just hopping on what Mayor Lundell said. PetSmart was one of my. I worked for PetSmart all 3 years when I was in law school, from 7 to 3. So unfortunately,
we have so many dog and pet.
yeah. So well, and now I foster cats or foster kittens. So I think that's probably where I got it from. So, they're a good place to do business with. So.
Great.
Thank you, Kevin. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.